McDowell's supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene, vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM. The man.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome once again to The Real Issues with me, Shelton Daniel, your host and producer, alongside our technical operator, Alton Jaquan Joseph. We hope you're having a good day so far. Our program airs weekdays from 12:30 until 2 p.m. on the radio station Real FM, coming to you on the dual frequencies 91.3 for those of you joining us in the northern part of St. Lucia, and 91.5 south. We're also simulcasting on NBC Television, channel 120 on the Flow Cable TV service. We are on Facebook Live as well as live streaming on YouTube. And I hope that despite the fact that we have Parliament today, that you're doing what you usually do, toggling your time between Real FM, NBC, and of course the parliamentary broadcast, which I was following before news time. Interesting it always is, and I do understand that the people who are most doggedly tuned in to the real issues are the people who tend not to want to miss the parliament as well. I want to say good afternoon to many people, but let me start with Frances Rubb. That's Frances Severin. Nice for the message that you sent me. Really appreciate it, and good to know that your husband, Mr. Sugar, is out of hospital. You did indicate to me in a previous message that he wasn't doing too well, so the fact that he's out of hospital, I take that to mean positively, optimistically, that he is doing much better, so that the doctors have found it fit to discharge him. Mr. Sugar in his late 80s now, is it? Yes, late 80s. So you know how it is, the way of all flesh. As we grow older, like the hymn says, we wither and perish like leaves on the tree. So these are things that we can expect as the years go by, that many things from the knees to the eyes, etc., don't work as well as they used to. So best wishes to Mr. Sugar that you will continue to get better, you'll continue to improve, you'll continue to get stronger even at your advanced age. It's not unheard of. All right, let me say good afternoon to those of you with us on the Facebook Live as well. The link has been put up. Let me begin with some good news that St. Lucians are to benefit What's gotten into my throat? Must be a speck of dust. Very sensitive to this dust business, you know. If there's one speck of it floating around and it gets in my throat, it immediately affects me, you know. St. Lucians to benefit from CIP funded affordable housing projects. For the first time, the government of St. Lucia, led by Prime Minister Pierre, will commit revenue from the Citizenship by Investment Program, CIP, to build affordable homes for St. Lucian citizens. The Pierre-led administration prioritizes the needs of St. Lucians first and always. The year of infrastructure will close the housing gap and make the dream of home ownership a reality for many St. Lucians. The decision to invest CIP revenue into housing developments for our citizens signifies the intention of the government to ensure ordinary St. Lucians have an opportunity to become home and property owners. And like I say, this is good news. Using our CIP money to help with the stated effort of providing better, more affordable houses, whether standalone, whether housing complexes and so on for St. Lucians. That, I think, is a good thing. All right, in the parliament today, and as we saw news yesterday, I think I read that one, where the Prime Minister was denying the allegation that St. Jude will cost $265 million to complete. I think today in the parliament we heard him say that the $265 million was taking into account all the money that has been spent on St. Jude so far, including by previous administration. You have to account for that, the borrowing that's associated with it, the payments. You have to pay them back, regardless of whether they were contracted by previous government, yourself in a previous life, and so on. But that so far, his government, the current government, has only spent about $31 million on St. Jude. And I think he has said that the opposition needs to take advantage of offers and opportunities to visit St. Jude and to see the work that is being done there, to see the progress of the work. But there are things that cannot be spoken of right now because they are subject to tender. So you can't go disclosing them until, of course, the tendering process is complete. All right. I think I did read that yesterday, that opposition leader Alan Shastney is claiming that the government will spend more than $260 million to complete the St. Jude Hospital. The Prime Minister, Philip J. Pierre, however, denies such is the case. Shastney, who made the claims during his rebuttal of the estimates, says the government is not being transparent about its expenditure on the project. The St. Jude Hospital reconstruction project is at $265 million, and in this year's estimate, $67 million. $31 million is coming from bonds, but we still do not know who the contractor is, Shastney said. Last year, however, the Prime Minister disclosed that the contractor currently working on the hospital is CIE Limited, known popularly as Reno Construction. Pierre disclosed that CIE had received a direct award to complete 4 of the hospital's 12 buildings by June of this year. We've made it very clear that this government is going to spend on St. Jude Hospital moving forward. We are completing 4 buildings, which will be completed by the end of June. That is what the contractor says, said the Prime Minister at a pre-cabinet press briefing this Monday. Pierre denies the opposition's claims that the project will cost $265 million. The Prime Minister says the figures seen in the estimates only represents the government's estimate of the total project. However, Pierre says a tender is still out for a bid for the project's completion. He says that once a bid is agreed upon, let me see that. Sometimes. All right. He says once a bid is agreed upon, a definitive quote will be given. The remainder of the buildings have gone out to tender. We can't give a total price unless we get a tender. It's a public tender. When the tender process is complete, we will get the cost. At present, the government has allocated $2.5 million for remedial renovation at the George Odlum Stadium, which currently serves at the St. Jude Hospital. The Prime Minister promises to complete the hospital as soon as possible. St. Jude Hospital for years has long been a cornerstone of healthcare infrastructure, serving thousands of individuals and families in the south of the island. However, tragedy struck struck on September 9, 2029, when a fire tore through the surgical pediatric wards and the operating theaters of a seriously aging facility. The hospital was evacuated to the George Odlum Stadium, where it is currently located. In the aftermath of the fire, successive administrations have made solemn promises to rebuild St. Jude Hospital. However, none have kept that promise, and we know that Prime Minister Pierre has promised that St. Jude Hospital will be completed by the end of this term of his administration, which, as the normal cycle of governments go 5 years, that should be in 2026. He has actually said that. Richard Frederick, the Minister of Housing and Local Government, is actually on his talk show on NBC television, said pointedly, Mr. Prime Minister, if we do not finish St. Jude Hospital in this term, I'm not standing for re-election. He's not going to run elections again. He's not standing. He said that. And so the government is very focused on the completion of St. Jude's being one of its signatures and cornerstones of its current term in office. September of this year is going to mark 15 years since St. Jude Hospital was destroyed by fire and had to be relocated to the George Odlum National Stadium, which has suffered as a result a lot of deterioration, dilapidation, rust and all of that, sea blast damage and so on has occurred. And so removing the hospital from what was meant to be a temporary but has now turned out to be 15 years temporary from the George Odlum National Stadium will pave the way for the hospital, for the stadium to be repaired and restored and so on. Now, I have a guest today, and I'm going to call that guest now. Remember, we've been talking about how do you go about registering a business and whether people from the OECS are treated the same as locals or differently and so on. I have some good news before I actually place the call, and to tell you that the individual from another OECS country who told me that he was having difficulty trying to have a business registered in St. Lucia has since told me that the problem has been solved. But I still think it's valuable for public information for us to know what is involved in the registering and setting up of a business in St. Lucia. Is it an involved process? Is it very difficult? Is it very expensive, etc., etc.? This is knowledge we need to have, especially now that we are hearing so much about the youth economy, about the MSME assistance being given for the setting up of MSME, which means micro, small, medium, small, and micro enterprises in our country. What is the role of the Ministry of Trade and what unit of the Ministry of Trade? I'm going to be calling now the director of SEDO, that is the Small Enterprise Development Unit. We must not consider that kind of information to be boring. We must learn it, we must know it, because we are being encouraged in very tangible ways now to demonstrate an entrepreneurial spirit and inclination, because there is assistance and facilitation for it. I have with me on the line Mr. Jonathan Alley. Mr. Alley is the director of SEDO, the Small Enterprise Development Unit, a division in the Ministry of Commerce and Business Development. Mr. Alley, good afternoon to you, and thank you so much for joining us.
Good afternoon, and thank you for inviting me to the show today.
Okay. Mr. Alley, SEDO is not new, SEDO is not young. It's been around for quite some time, and I think it is one of the more celebrated institutions, I might say, or divisions or units of our government and so on. Presently, can you give us an overview of what SEDO is involved in or continues to be involved in as what you might consider its main thrust?
Okay, so SEDOs basically exist to provide support to the MSME sector. So from the inception with persons who just have an idea, we provide support with, bringing that idea to fruition. We provide support with the registration of the business. We assist persons in the development of their business plans. We provide entrepreneurial training. So we have a number of training sessions that we provide to our MSMEs so that they would be aware of, the tools, the skills, the things that they would need in order to develop their business and to take it to the next level. Currently, we're involved in the MSME loan grant facility, where we provide support to MSMEs in providing funding in the form of grant and loan again, in an effort to help them to purchase the equipment, the machinery, and the things that they would need in order for their businesses to grow, or for persons who just want to start up their businesses. We have a certain carve out for them, which will allow them to get the things they need in order to start up their businesses. So, as you said, CEDO has been in existence for a while, and we have been there to provide support to the various micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises.
All right. So, although your name remains CEDO, Small Enterprise Development, you actually work with medium and micro enterprises as well.
Correct.
What is the differentiation for those who don't already know between a small enterprise, a medium enterprise, a micro enterprise? What is the scale or the criteria upon which they are classified in each of those categories? If you can, compress that answer for us.
Problem. So a micro enterprise is an enterprise with up to 5 employees who has sales not exceeding 100,000 and net assets of does not exceed 75,000. Okay. A small enterprise. The
sales of 100,000. That's annually.
Annually, sorry. Yes,
okay. All right. Okay. Go ahead then. Yes. Sorry.
A small enterprise is one between 6 and 20 employees. Their sales does not exceed 500,000, and their net assets does not exceed 200,000. And a medium-sized enterprise is one between 21 to 50 employees. The sales does not exceed $1 million. That's easier, and the net assets do not exceed 500,000. So we deal with persons whose sales do not exceed $1 million. Anything over that, we have a separate unit, which is the Commerce and Industry Division, which would provide support to persons of that size.
All right. Let's begin with the question which led me to you in the first place.
Right.
The matter of registering a business, and you have indicated that you are within the remit of the medium, small, micro enterprises and so on. How does one go about registering a business, and what would be the requirements? And maybe we can now go into the difference between a local person and someone from outside of St. Lucia. Please go ahead and take it from there for us.
Okay, so the business name registration, we've been providing support with this for a while now. So I want the public to know that the process, persons who had gone through the process before, it has changed. So as you know, Shelton, just like how you could do your driver's license online through the DigiGov platform, now the business registration process is also available online at DigiGov. So the process would remain the same, but basically it's being done online. So, well, the first step, of course, is for persons to come up with a name that they believe that is suitable for their business and that represents their business. And they would conduct a name search. So, just as in the past, persons would have gone to registry of companies, they would fill out a name search request form. Now that form is available online. So persons would have to go to the DigiGov platform and then go to name search, whether it be for a business name or for a company. They would have to fill out the information that is required. For persons who are not so tech savvy, the Ministry of Commerce, again through CEDO, provides support in completing that information. So persons could come down to the department and we would perform that name search for them.
Okay.
Some of the things that would be required would be the national ID, preferably, because that would be needed in order to submit the request to the registry of companies. After they've done the name search and the name has been approved for use, I think there is a limit of 28 days within which you have to actually do the transactions to complete the process. After the name search is done, then the other process would be to prepare the documents, an application and a statutory declaration, again, which we can provide support with. These documents are printed, they are brought to a justice of the peace who signs. The person also would need a $2.50 stamp and the process costs $125. So after they've gone, we've prepared the documents, they've gone to the Justice of the Peace, they have signed, they come back to us, we scan and put the documents into the system, the DigiGov system. An invoice is generated, which they could pay at the Accountant General, or they could pay at the Registry of Companies. And within a period of 3 days or so, they would receive a message, whether it be a text message or an email, to advise that the certificate has been completed, and they could come to the Registry of Companies to collect it. Of course, just as the driver's license, persons can complete the process online by just following the instructions and the fields that are given. But again, to those who are unable to go through the process on their own, we are here to provide support in doing it on their behalf.
All right. So, the people who, once they hear about computer and all that, they get afraid. They need not fear. Sadu is going to, hold their hand and walk with them through that process.
Correct, yes.
All right,
yes,
okay. Basically, what kind of response have you observed? Is it that people are intimidated by the online electronic thing and they prefer the hard feel, or are we getting a sense that people are growing out of that and moving away from it? I mean, just to give us a sense of how it seems to be going.
Right. So, again, with technology, there are early adopters, persons who jump on it immediately and try it out, which are very few, I might add. But the majority of persons, there are very few. The majority of persons would come to the department in order to get it done. Mm-hmm. But again, it's more sensitization is needed, more training is needed, information, so that persons would feel comfortable. Because from what I understand, the registry of the driver's license transport board went through the same phases where persons were still coming in to get it done, and then as time passed by, more and more persons started using the DigiGov platform to do their registration. So there are more persons doing it online now than coming in. But since it was introduced this year, I think February of this year, then we still have a lot more persons coming in to us in order to get that service done.
All right,
but
okay.
To answer your question also with regards to persons outside of St. Lucia, as you know, we are part of the OECS and CARICOM. So OECS nationals, they would be able to go online also and complete it as normal. The only difference is that under country, they would indicate what country that they are coming from. Persons in CARICOM, and when I say CARICOM, persons outside of the OECS, like Jamaica, Guyana, Barbados, they also would be able to use the platform in order to register their businesses. The only difference is that for persons that are outside of the OECS, they would have to go for an additional step after they've registered of rights of establishment if they intend to operate in St. Lucia for an extended period of time.
Okay.
But the registration process is the same.
All right. What about the cost associated? Is it there's a lower cost for St. Lucia and OECS nationals and a different one for, say, CARICOM people? Give us an idea of the money involved in that.
It's really the same. So in order to, for anyone doing business name registration, so there are two types of registrations. There is a business name and there is a company or an incorporation.
Okay.
Business name, basically, you are, let's say, my name is Jonathan. I would be Jonathan trading as Jonathan Treats. So really and truly, it is the same person trading. In a sense, we want to say if somebody sues Jonathan Treats, they're actually suing Jonathan. But with a company, it's a separate entity unto itself. So then it is separate from the individual. So if somebody sues the company's assets are liable. So it depends on what type of structure that an individual wants. Again, there are a number of factors to consider, whether the level of risk that are involved. And again, the business name would have less requirements as opposed to a company who have their annual filings, They would have to file taxes, taxes with inland revenue. As much as there is protection, but there is more that is required of somebody who actually incorporates or has a company. So for the business name registration, the cost would be $125 plus a $2.50 stamp, and they would need to go to a justice of the peace. So they would have to pay the cost of the justice of the peace that signs the documents for them.
Okay.
And for somebody who is doing now, Shelton, the prices that I'm giving you, that's if you do it through the CDWA.
Okay. If you go your own, you might need a lawyer or anything like that.
Right. No legal fees involved. We do not charge anything in order to get it done. These are the government stamp duty and the required fees by government. Right. That's for the business name. And for the incorporation, it is when you round it up, about $1,000. Again, this is the cost that when you do it through through the Ministry of Commerce. If you go to a private attorney, you would pay much more than that. And this was deliberately done in order to assist our micro and small businesses, because we know that your money, you would need it in order to put into your venture, to help it to start off or help it to grow. So these legal fees were waived so that we could provide the support to our business sector.
This is sounding very encouraging. I want to go back to the matter of the trading name and the business name, just to make sure I and our listeners understand it well. Let me see if a terrible example. The name of this program is The Real Issues, okay?
Yeah.
But then this is the name that everybody knows it as, but it can actually be registered as Shelton Daniel Shows Inc. or something like that. Which one would be the business name and which one would be the trading name? Would the trading name be The Real Issues and the business name would be Shelton Daniel Shows Incorporated or something? I'm just trying to see if I can get the separate, because I notice a lot of businesses here, they have the popular name that everybody knows them by. But if you were to go and do a little bit of research, you would find out that there is a name in the registry or wherever it is that is completely different from the one that is on their signage and so on.
Right. So even that, persons need to be careful of. The reason why is that you want to make sure whatever name that the public knows you by is a name that is actually registered.
Okay.
So, because the thing about it, Shelton, is that, let's say The Real Issues is not a registered name, but it's a name that is used. It's a name that is popular. Now, if I am aware of that, I could go and register this name and ask that you not use it again, because I am the one who actually owns the name.
Yes.
So that is why it's important that whatever name that the business person is known by, that is the name that is actually registered. So in terms of the trading as, like I said, for an individual, it would be the individual, since the business and the person is the same, it would, like I said, be Jonathan, but whatever name that I registered would be Jonathan Trading As.
Okay.
It is possible for a company, say for example, COTS, whose parent company is Unicoma, and they're trading as COTS. So that can be, that's also an arrangement that can be made. But
Okay.
like I said, the most important thing is that your name, it is secured by you so that nobody else would be able to have access to it and use it for their business name.
Wonderful, wonderful. I remember, as you mentioned, that many years ago working at Radio St. Lucia, that when they got into registering it as a company, and all of that, they found that the name Radio St. Lucia, somebody had already pounced on it and registered it as their whatever property, in whatever registry of businesses and whatever. So then they had to come up with a new name called Radio St. Lucia Company Limited or something of that kind to differentiate it. So
for persons to ensure that they protect the name, especially if it has value, if it has goodwill, if persons are already aware of it.
Yes.
It's important that you register and secure that name for your business.
And I believe the individual who had done the registration was telling them it was almost like a ransom. You know, you want it, pay me how many $100,000 and I'll give it to you. It must be worth a lot to you. So apparently there are people going around doing exactly that. Thanks for drawing it. We're due for a commercial break. I had intended by now would have wrapped up. But Mr. Allen, if it's okay with you, can we take the break and we'll come back to you and resume with you, because there's so much more that I want to ask you. I don't know what your schedule is. All right. Okay. So we'll take the break now and then I'll call you back, and then a small enterprise development unit, SEDU, in the Ministry of Commerce and Business Development, Mr. Jonathan Allen, he'll be rejoining us after this break on The Real Issues.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
McDowell's Supplement. An effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate help prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene, vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains, and illnesses? When there's help for you. At Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains, and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems, such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild. The power to heal, the future of pain relief.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM. the man, the voice.
Issues on this Tuesday is the 7th of the with the director of the Small Enterprise Development Unit within the Ministry of Commerce and Business Development. So very much staying with us, Mr. Allen. Now I want on to the subject of some kind of funding, a loan, whatever, to start up a business. One of the first things they need, and a lot of people don't know, and they don't go back because that is something they don't even know what it is, but they know how to get it, how to do it, and so on. It's my understanding that SEDU is solving that problem, or has solved that problem for many, many people. Tell us about the whole business plan matter. Do you give it only when you are the source of the funding or grant, or would you do it for somebody if it's a result, a request from another, a cooperative or a bank or whatever? Tell us how the whole business plan support works.
So the MSME loan grant only started last year, 2023. But prior to that, SEDU had always been involved in assisting persons in the development of the business plan. Now, I want to say that carefully. Assisting persons in the development of their business plan. Now, the reason why I say that is because we work with plans to put together all of the various parts that are required, including the financial statements or projections, in order for them to present it, whether it be to a financial institution, a credit union, or wherever. And the reason why we do that is because we want persons to be a part of the process. When we assist somebody with putting together a plan, when they go to a financial institution, you will not be at that meeting with them to explain what is in the plan. So that is why we've been providing training to persons in the development of their business plans, and 2, we've been providing the one-on-one assistance also in the development of the business plan. So usually we start off by sending a template to our clients, and we say, okay, this is a template, go for it. Whatever information that you can do or you can explain, put it in, and then we would help to develop it and to broaden it, to make sure that it has enough information that would be sufficient for whatever institution that you are writing it for. I want to say in the very few and extreme circumstances, we would do all of it, and that's in the case where somebody might not be computer savvy, and they basically might not have the competence in order to do it. But the vast majority of persons, we want them involved in the process. We would also send them to do research, so a person could be like, when we ask them what is the market size, whether we send them to the statistics department and look at where they live in, or to see, how many persons the population in that particular area, or simply if they have a storefront already, to see how many persons walking by, just stand outside your shop and count, for the day, how many persons who pass by could be potential customers. So we do provide that support. We do it in collaboration with the clients, and we provide it, whether it be for our loan grant or for any other purpose. We always have been advising persons to ensure that they have a business plan, because a business plan is a roadmap for your business. It basically dictates where you are now and where you want to go. It sets targets for the business, whether it be sales targets, customer targets, so that they can work towards achieving. We say that it's a living document, meaning that it's not static. So periodically you need to review to see if anything has changed in the environment, anything has changed with technology, anything has changed with government policy and laws, so that could be updated, so that your business also can be that.
Does the business plan ever cost any applicant something? Do they have to pay SEDU anything? Do they have to?
No. Anybody who comes to us for assistance, our services are free of charge.
Okay. Do you ever get the sense that some people, they recoil, they come forward, they all enthusiastic, gung-ho and so on, but the moment it reaches that or anything else that they recoil and they go and they say, okay, I'll come back or whatever, and you never see them again.
Definitely, especially the persons that you tell, okay, we put it together, business plan. Here are a list of things that I want you to find out. You give them the list and then you never see them again. So some persons, they want you to do it for them, like do everything for them and just hand them a plan. But that is not how we operate at CEDU, because it's part of developmental. Every part of the plan is important to your business, so you need to know. And as a matter of fact, you need to have an idea as to how you want to do certain things, so that you advise, so that we provide support.
What do you think? What do you think CEDU can do to help the people who? Because it's a problem in many ways. I suspect in Saint Lucia, where people feel ashamed of themselves, of their ability, their literacy, their ability to express themselves, to write, to fill out a form, to do things, and they don't want you to know that. So they're just gonna go and don't come back, because maybe as misguided and unnecessary as it is, they feel a little bit of embarrassment about themselves. And so on, and so they just disappear when somebody could have helped them make a real difference in their life and so on. What do you think CEDU has done, is doing, could do to prevent this kind of recoil?
So one of the things we've done, right? So persons who come into CEDU for assistance, they're actually assigned an officer, and that individual would be the one who would be providing you with the support, who would be checking on you to see what your needs are. That would be the person that you would call if you run into an issue and you want guidance, or you want them to point you to the right direction. So that is the way in which we've done it. So again, though we've had group sessions, but persons have always had the opportunity to basically meet with somebody one-on-one to provide them with that support. So if somebody, of course, has an issue where they're unable to do it on their own, the officers would be able to detect that and would determine, the type of support that they would provide to that particular client.
Okay. We hear about MSME loan grant assistance and so on. Tell us about the loan as opposed to the grant. How does it really work? What is the ratio, between the loan and the grant? Are there some instances where people get all grants? And some it's all loan that they qualify, or is it always a mix of the two? Just tell us how the balance works here.
So just to give a little backstory, again, the MSME loan grant is a $10 million post-COVID relief project for the MSME sector, because we know that during that period they really suffered and went through a difficult time. It is a loan to the government of St. Lucia granted by CDB. Again, as you mentioned, it's a combination of loan and grant. 30% of it is loan and 70% is grant.
Okay.
So in the case of, let's say, somebody who is a startup and they could qualify for $10,000, $3,000 would be the loan and the $7,000 would be the grant part, right? The interest rate is only 3%, and there is no collateral requirements. So this is a program that really you cannot find anywhere else in terms of the support that it provides. Persons, again, it has an age limit between 21 and 60. We had the first call last year. We had gotten 514 applications, which was an overwhelming number. To provide support to persons in the purchase of the equipment, some of the raw materials that they need, help to get them to standards, certification, implementation of IT solutions, whether it be a website or e-commerce platforms, assisting with their packaging, the design, and all of those things. So again, with the loan and grant, it is fixed in the sense that whatever you are applying for, 30% of it will be loan and 70% of it would be grant, which is basically free money.
Okay.
So the only part that you would have to repay is just the 30% or the 3% interest rate, which very minimal. The loan payments are very minimal.
Still, tell me, what does, to your knowledge, the problem of defaulting is that a problem of any significance? We know that no matter how generous you are, sometimes you just run into that. Is it something that is negligible to the extent that it's not worth mentioning, or is it is that old enemy still rearing its head?
To tell you, I mean the truth, Shelton. Of course, lending to the MSME sector, if you ask any financial expert, persons from the banks, credit unions, wherever, this is the most riskiest type of borrowing. Right? So I think the government in its understanding of that, understands that, you know, there would be possibilities of default and non-repayment. But the aim is that we work with clients as much as possible towards them being able to repay. The reason why, part of this funding, there's a revolving fund. So the more persons who repay and, you know, give back as they're supposed to, that means there would be money available for additional persons to be able to benefit from such a great program. So, you know, we're encouraging persons to, you know, keep up to their commitment, you know, in terms of their repayment, because, again, it has a spin-off where persons coming after you would be able to benefit from the program as well.
Do you ever find cases where you see a subsequent lack of commitment? People come forward, they want to go develop this little business, they have this nice idea for a small, you know, enterprise that they want to develop, and then the moment they get the money, they don't seem to have the seriousness to go and do it. They abandon the project or anything. Is that ever something that you find?
Of course, you would definitely see that, and that's one thing that is my personal belief, right? Not all persons who are in business are entrepreneurs. The entrepreneurs have a certain personality. They have a certain mindset. These are persons that even I would have given up if I was in the spot. And these persons basically could see light in darkness. So these are persons with a spirit that they don't give up that easy. These are persons who always have ideas. People who always want to push forward because they could see. So there are persons who have that spirit who are in business, and there are other persons who are in business just because of need, just because they cannot find, you know, a suitable form of employment right now. So I differentiate between the two, right? So an entrepreneur is not somebody that will get the funds and just stop. Because these people, the passion that they have, I mean, it's an unquenchable passion. And there are other persons who, nothing is not happening right now, man. What can I do? Let me just think of something to occupy my time until maybe I get a job. And so these are the persons who would most likely do something like that, but not the persons who are true entrepreneurs.
If and when they do that, are there any pieces left for Sedu to pick up, and what would this be in terms of, you know, recouping? I don't know what has already been disbursed, expended. Is there something that you can repossess, or is that just not part of the...
Our program doesn't have any collateral requirement. So it's not a program with the intent of going after persons to get things. Of course, we have our monitoring and evaluation where we follow up to ensure that persons purchase or procure whatever goods and services that they had requested. But again, we're not like a bank which has a recoveries department who would go after persons. Although we depend on our partnering institution, the Social Development Bank, to do some of that work on our behalf. But I wouldn't say that strictly that we would do that. But Shelton, as in life, everything has repercussions. So persons might do that now, not thinking that later on there might not be a repercussion. But obviously it's a loan, it's with a financial institution, and there would be a record of non-payment. So later on, again, if you decide that you want a loan, and let's say they do a credit check or something like that, it is possible that it could come up and show that, hey, this person got this and they didn't pay and stuff like that. Could possibly affect your chances in the future.
All right. Can I ask you, Sedu has a very long and I'm sure has accumulated a lot of expertise, experience, institutional knowledge, and understanding of the MSME landscape and so on. Are you ever called upon to bring that expertise to bear to assist other programs? I'm thinking about, Bell Fund, Micro Enterprise Development Fund, the Youth Economy. Do you find yourself being called upon to lend that institutional expertise and experience that you have accumulated over, so many years?
Yes. So in the business landscape, as you mentioned, it's called an ecosystem. And within the ecosystem, everybody has a part to play in the development of the MSME sectors. So the youth economy, Bell Fund, St. Lucia Development Bank, Export St. Lucia, even the other ministries like Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Tourism, all of us are partners that basically work together within the ecosystem to provide support to the entrepreneurs. Because all of our agencies has expertise in a particular area that we bring together to work with clients. So the Ministry of Commerce is not an expert in agriculture, but our program provides support to persons that are in agricultural businesses. So then we lean on agriculture to assess these projects and to advise as to whether or not they are feasible, and then we would do our part. Whether it be in the registration, providing the business support, while agriculture works on the technical support in terms of the crop and what's the best way to grow it, where's the best. So yeah, we work together in this ecosystem, and it's very important because the clients need that support from the various agencies in order for their businesses to develop.
Wonderful. It sounds like, what I would call governmental interagency collaboration.
Yes.
But tell us a bit about your collaboration with NGOs, non-governmental institutions. There was a time you could hardly hear the name of SEDU without, almost simultaneously hearing about SLISBA as well. They seem pretty much hand in glove and so on.
Right.
Tell us about your collaboration with non-governmental agencies such as SLISBA.
Right. So SLISBA is actually part of the ecosystem because we have the Manufacturers Association, we have the Chamber of Commerce, and we have SLISBA, who basically works with the micro businesses, the smallest set of businesses, and provide them with support. We actually on a quarterly basis, the minister and the ministry has a meeting with SLISBA and the various agencies to find out what are their needs, how can the ministry provide support, whether it be in terms of policy or guidance or direction to these agencies to support their membership and to support as a whole the development of the micro, small and medium-sized enterprises. So SLISBA is one of our very important partners. We work with them very closely. As a matter of fact, on the MSME loan grant program, we have a representative from the SLISBA on our evaluation committee, because again, we want to make sure that all of the various types of businesses and sizes of businesses are represented, and they can have a say, their voices can be heard, and again, policy can be developed to provide support with them. So we work with the non-governmental organizations, again, as long as it intersects with our business development and support to MSMEs, we are open to working with all institutions.
All right, I have to say, Mr. Ali, when I asked you, for this little bit of assistance with our program today, I never expected that our conversation would have gone on so long, because it has proven to be so interesting,
Yes.
so enlightening and informative. It really grew on me more than I had scheduled and intended. Is there anything that maybe you want to say that perhaps my questioning has not delved into? It's up to you.
Well, just in terms of the MSME loan grant, we want to let persons know that we had extended the deadline for registration to the 31st of May. Again, the aim was to provide more persons with time in order to prepare their applications and put together the documents that they need in order to apply. So we want them to know that you can apply. We also want persons who to know that if they don't know that who was not approved under the first call, that you still can apply under the second call. I mean, making the adjustments wherever necessary in your business plan and in your request so that you can apply again. So the applications, we're still open to them. So persons feel free to come in. Anybody who has any questions, again, they could reach out to SEDO for support.
All right. So let's see in practice how this can work. This one's a little crazy. I have an idea of how I can use St. Lucian breadfruit to make cheese. I can turn breadfruit into some form of cheese or whatever. Okay, you said the age group is what, from whatever to 60 or something like that?
31 to 60.
31 to 60. Okay, so I'm just barely still within that bracket and so on. So what I need to do in such an occasion is that I need to write a letter, a proposal, fill a form. Okay, I'm online. I'm not too old for the online thing. Explain what my business concept or idea is and so on. And how exactly is it going to work from there? A breadfruit to cheese project. I'm going to need certain types of equipment or whatever, breadfruit centrifuge or something. I'm being crazy here, but just going through it. How does it work from there?
Crazy. So again, persons who have, like, let's say you have such an idea, again, we have an application form. You would state exactly what you want to do. Obviously, I would expect that you've done your research.
Right.
To
So
see what are the items that
so
you
the
need.
scientific and technical and technological support for that, I need to present that as well.
Yeah, not too scientific, because I mean we don't have scientists on the.
Okay.
But just a proof of concept in a sense that I mean you can do it, or that you have tried it at least. Because again, we would advise, if you have an idea, I understand you don't want persons to steal your idea.
Yes, right.
But you want to know that you've tried it. It's not that it's something that's just far-fetched. Nobody has done it. And you have just come up with it, and then at least to show, you would be able to get it done. Again, you'd fill out the application form. The business plan would show exactly, that you have a market, you know how to get it done, and you know how to get it to your market and make money out of it. Then you would supply us with the invoices for the equipment that you need. So I think you'd need equipment. You would possibly need packaging. You would need labeling. Also consideration, since it's a food item, some sort of standards relating to health and safety.
Okay. So there would need to be some kind of linkage with Bureau of Standards or something like that. Okay.
Yes. Bureau of Standards, environmental health.
Okay.
Persons who are going into food businesses, we want to see that they have a health card at least, in order to show that you are well enough to handle and to process food. And you supply us with that information along with your IDs, proof of address. You must be registered, a copy of your business registration. And these are the documents that you need in order to present it to the committee for approval.
Okay.
And then we go ahead from there to disbursement to provide you with the funds that you need in order to get them. One person to know that we are not going to be giving anybody cash. You need to give us an invoice with a supplier, and the check will be done in the name of the supplier to procure the item.
So it's not a case of I say that I need a breadfruit fermenter to make the cheese. Who's selling that breadfruit fermenter? Who it is that I'm going to buy it from, and when it is approved, then you write the check to them.
Okay. So that's the way we safeguard the program, because sometimes you give persons the money, they might be tempted to do something else, or a need might come up which is very pressing, and they might want to use the funds for that particular purpose.
Excellent.
Just to guard the program, these are some of the things that we have put in place in order to ensure that it runs properly.
Yes, sounds like standard best practice.
Yes.
Mr. Jonathan Allen, Director of the Small Enterprise Development Unit, SEDO, I want to thank you so very much, sir, for joining us and for giving us a lot more time than maybe we thought we would have needed. Really appreciate it, but I think it's been more than worth it.
Okay, great. Thank you for having me on the show today.
Okay. The real issues will continue into our final half hour for today's program after this commercial break, where we will be opening the lines for your calls and reading your messages as well.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
McDowell's Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene of vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains, and illnesses? When there's help for you. At Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains, and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems, such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild, the power to heal, the future of pain relief.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay By Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The City opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop opposite the Grosile Bus Stop, Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosile.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
Live streaming has become one of the best ways to connect the funeral of a loved one with friends and family, both local and international. NBC Television will live stream your funerals on television and Facebook at a reasonable rate. With our state-of-the-art equipment, you can be assured that the quality of your funeral will be to your satisfaction. Call our office now and book your obituary and streaming with us. 7458.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Mario Michel appointed as acting Chief Justice of the OECS, all right? Chief Justice of the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court. Former parliamentary representative for Grosley and seasoned attorney at law Mario Michel has been appointed as the acting Chief Justice of the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court. Oh yes, our Mario Michel. This is the Real Issues. The lines are open now for your calls. 724-7325, the mobile number that you can WhatsApp call us on it. It is also the number for our Real Issues WhatsApp group. Thank you very much for your comments being posted in there. And you can also reach us on the landline 4533911. Remember, we end at 2 o'clock. We have our first call already. Good afternoon, the Real Issues. Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, I'm hearing you. Go ahead. Hello?
Yeah, Shelton.
Yeah, go ahead.
Boy, look like when we finish with our job and all those things, we'll have to make a donation to the opposition, because them fellas look like they'll lose their head, They're under so much pressure, they don't know what to say. They're so jealous, they're going crazy. You must play the song for them by Jimmy Cliff. They're going mad. Okay?
All right, my friend. Okay. Thank you very much. Michelle succeeds the esteemed Honorable Dame Janice M. Pereira, DBE, who held the position since October 24th, 2012. We have another caller on the line, making her the first female Chief Justice of the court. Good afternoon, the Real Issues, you're on.
Shelton, good afternoon, my boy.
Hey, what's happening?
Hi there, Papa, all is well?
I'm doing okay, how about you?
Gasa, cool as the wind blows. Let me tell you, Gasa, I have a shirt. I go wash that for 3 days,
That you won't wash for 3 days?
A shirt, I go wash it for 3 days. Gasa, this morning, I was by the government building. And the Prime Minister coming down from the elevator. He had about 4 or 5 of his police officers there with him. Gasa, the Prime Minister actually left the police contingent. And he walked across and come and touch me,
That's good. There's a good feeling.
I washing that shirt, man.
Yeah?
Huh?
Do you consider that shirt to be permanently autographed?
Yeah, man. Yeah, and not only that, but the level of humility, so the man actually walk across to come and acknowledge me,
You see, that shirt, you have to, how we call that, frame it or something, put it up. Stop wearing that shirt, Frame that, it's permanently autographed, so, you never know, down the line, that shirt might become very famous.
Cost endless money. You feel our uncle would have done that? Uncle Shaq would have ever done that? And that is the level of humility that we have.
Yes.
As the person who running the country.
Yes.
Sheldon, I think what Emron Henry said is correct, Philip J. Pierre is the leader that was chosen by God to lead St. Lucia at this time.
Yeah, but of course, Imran
at this present time.
Imran has said nothing way out. I mean, even the Bible tells us that God is the one who causes governments to rise and governments to fall. He's the one who raises leaders.
And people want to crucify him.
Yeah.
Joachim Henry put up a top-notch A1 first-class jazz in Bexar.
Yes.
A1, and I'm very proud of that government. That is the best budget. A1, something for everybody from all walks of life. He take out pension from 300 to 725. Man, I have full confidence in this government, and I have no regrets that I supported them, and I'm going to support them again. Have a good one.
Yes, thank you very much for that. 724-7325. You can WhatsApp call us on that, and you can also reach us on the landline 4533-911. This is The Real Issues on this Tuesday. It is the 7th of May 2024, and Jaquan has his finger hovering in the air, just ready to patch you right in. We have someone on the line again. Good afternoon, Real Issues.
Good afternoon, Shelton.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Shelton. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing okay, and you?
All right, yes. I just want to say, yes, I'm good. I'm fine, thanks. I just want to big up the government on this budget. I mean, this is a fantastic, I don't even know how to explain it, but like they said, there is something for everybody. And I'm a small businessman, and I'm seeing, there are many benefits in that for me, especially the MSM
loan grant assistance.
Yes. And when the gentleman was there explaining, yes.
So what line of business are you in, may I ask?
Well, I'm doing agro-processing, and I also have a little mini-mart in library.
Okay. This is wonderful. This is great to hear, man.
I have all my documents already, so it's just a matter of putting everything together to apply. Right. So I want to big up the government on this initiative. This is wonderful. I mean, it will benefit.
So you heard the interview that we had with the head of SEDU, the small enterprise, Mr. Ali?
Yes, and it was good timing. As soon as I put my television on, I saw the interview. So he clarified a lot of stuff I was not too familiar with. So.
Okay. Magnificent, my friend. Thank you so very much, okay?
All right, enjoy the rest.
All the best to you. Mm-hmm. All right, really wish you. Yeah, do we have another call on the line? 724-7325 and 4533-911. I was reading something about Mario Michel being there. Do we have another one on the line? Hi, caller, good afternoon. The Real Issues, welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Daniel.
How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yes.
I would like to congratulate our PM, Dr. Philip J. Pierre. Well, I call him doctor because he's healing the ills the diseases that was inflicted on our country. So, I give my full thanks to him and Guy Joseph and Alan Shastney. I believe these men are the two most dishonest individuals in the history of politics in our country. And they are very deceitful in their brand of politics, and that will not work. And the PM has them a trillion in every positive move that he makes.
Okay.
So they are attempting to assert to lies and propaganda. So we asking our PM to keep focus and to continue doing the good work that he's doing. Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you very much. I always intend to ask that caller, this particular caller, what part of St. Lucia is calling from, but I never seem to get to it. Hi, caller, good afternoon. The Real Issues, you're on. Hello? All right, seems like we lost this caller. What are they calling on different lines and so on? All right, Michelle succeeds the esteemed Honorable Dame Janice M. Pereira, DBE, who held the position since October 24th, 2012, making her the first female Chief Justice of the Court. Good afternoon, The Real Issues.
Yes, Shelton.
How you doing? Hello?
Shelton.
Yeah, I'm hearing you. Go ahead. Hello? Oh dear. Okay. Dame Janice Pereira's tenure spanned an impressive 12 years, marking her as the longest-serving Chief Justice to date. Her retirement on May 4th, 2024 paved the way for Justice Michelle to assume the role. Michelle's journey to this esteemed position is marked by a notable career in both law and politics. In February 2009, he responded to the call for judicial service and served as an acting judge of the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court, ECSC. This led to his appointment as a judge of the High Court in September 2009, initially assigned to Antigua and Barbuda. And I have to say, while I was in Antigua on my first stint, I happened to be by a gas station, Gonzalez service station on Friars Hill Road, and they pulled up together with me to refill was Justice Michel. And I didn't recognize it was him until he brought down his window and he said hello to me and said how he so enjoys listening to my program. And, that meant a lot to me. Getting that from Mario Michel, I know he wasn't just saying it just as a matter of, routine or matter of course to make me feel good. The kind of man who in St. Lucia, if he didn't like something, he would call me and let me know. And there was a day, I won't tell you what it was about. He gave me a bit of a tongue lashing for something that I discussed on, and he was right, in the end and so on. He's always a well-considered man, but I didn't meet him in Antigua, and like I say, always a very nice, polite, straightforward person to me, and that day was very special to me. Running into him there, it had been some time we hadn't met each other. Prior to his judicial career, Michel served as the Member of Parliament for Grosile for 2 consecutive terms, from 1997 until his retirement from active politics. All right, we have another call on the line. Hi, good afternoon. The Real Issues. Hello. Hi, caller, are you there? Yeah, okay. Hey, forward là, bonjour pour, comment vous êtes? Yeah, je vais nous forward là, où ça parle?
Je voulais complimenter première place là bon matin là. Je voulais complimenter Mr. Joachim Henry. Moi t'en là qu'a parlé, qu'a dit tout ça qui bon. Moi apprécié ça, moi écouter à musique, il a parlé après Dieu, moi là, n'a écouté. Merci bon Dieu pour ça, bonne parole. Actuellement là, moi sorti dehors de canto avec mon Prime Minister nous. Prime Minister nous, Mr. Philippe J. Pierre. Ah papa bon Dieu, c'est pas vous même qui mène l'école là. Papa bon Dieu, qui vous mettez qui vous venir pour venir tirer nous en 3 cas. Pour venir faire travail, Mr. Philippe J. Pierre, il y a tout défaut qui ni. C'est ça qu'on doit après à la terre. Mais avec papa bon Dieu, on est tout l'honneur, on est toute bonté. Et c'est ça papa m'a dit, ça fait même comme moi. Bon, Mr. Sheldon,
oui.
Je fais avec tout le monde qui a écouté. Moi, je voulais dire un spécial bon après-midi pour ce 594 Albany Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. Ça c'est groupe prayer moi. 10 o'clock in the morning, c'est moi qui 3e à la prière, non, moi 3e yoni là. Moi je voulais complimenter ces moun ça là, moi qu'a dire special congratulations to them. Miss Payne, Miss Fraser, Mr. Wickham, Miss Anne, Mrs. Johnson, Mr. James. Moi je voulais complimenter tout ça moun ça là, 10 o'clock in the morning. Nous devons fermer à toi dans Chamaïque pour Dieu. 594 Albany Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. Tout le monde devait mener la prière, non la prière. Et c'est moi qui 3e. Là, oui, merci. Là, glorifier. Là, dire bonne congratulations to them. Keep on, Venezuela. Nous tenions en parlement IMO en sommeil. Merci, Mr. Sheldon Daniel. Faut de la part qui est bon la prière. Bon matin, moi qui veux la prière pour aller à la mer. Lady Waimov dessus, moi qui veux pour faire travail. Merci papa bon Dieu, c'est vous qui veux disciple ça venir garder pour moi. Merci encore Mr. Sheldon Joseph. Merci. Bye.
OK, forward là. Merci un peu et puis une bonne journée pour vous. Bon Dieu béni. All right. We're taking your calls. We still have some minutes to go until 2 o'clock. So the lines are open, 724-7325. Those of you who use the WhatsApp calling, you can get us through this line, 758-724-7325 and 4533-911, the studio landline number. Speaking of Mario Michel, who has just been appointed acting Chief Justice of the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court, his contributions extended beyond legislation as he also held the position of Deputy Prime Minister of St. Lucia and served as the President of the St. Lucia Bar Association, earning the distinction of being the youngest to hold the position in the organization's history. Mario Michel is the 3rd St. Lucian to hold the esteemed position of Chief Justice of the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court, following in the footsteps of Sir Alan Lewis and Vincent Flosack. The Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court serves as a superior court of record for the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, comprising 6 independent states and 3 British overseas territories. Its jurisdiction extends to interpreting and applying laws across member states, deciding cases of civil and criminal matters, and hearing appeals. And let me say, before Mr. Michel's entry into elective politics, he was also the founding president of the National Youth Council of St. Lucia. Okay, so NYC, Mario Michel, we can say one of its founders and serving as its first president. And boy, did he have to go up against a lot of opposition. He was also Minister of Sports at the time that he was Minister of Education and so on, Education, Human Resource Development. And so congratulations to Mr. Mario Michel. Although it is acting, but he still sits at the head of the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court on the retirement of Dame Janice Pereira. We have a call on the line. Good afternoon, Real Issues.
Hello, Shelton.
Yes, hi, good afternoon. I'm answering you. Go ahead.
Yes, I want to say bravo to the Prime Minister, Mr. Philip J. Pierre, the Honorable Philip J. Pierre. He is a good man for the country, and yes, God has blessed him very well indeed for leading us the right way, leading us on the right path. I am a happy St. Lucian right now, and I must say bravo to our people, and we want to continue. I want to continue thanking our ministers for their good works, for their hard-working efforts. I also want to say thanks for Philip J. Pierre for all his the way he think about us St. Lucian, the way he put us first, and his continuously hard-working effort for putting us first. And I would like to say to all St. Lucians that bravo, we made it with Philip J. Pierre. He is a great and wonderful man, and God will continue and continue and continue blessing him, and God will also shine his light upon him and to shine upon us in this country. We know we are not perfect, but we know we have a very perfect Prime Minister, and we know he has been trying his best, and we want to say bravo to him. And we want to also say thank him. I want to thank him very much for all his hard work to see this country go forward and to continue making us the most fruitful people in the country, because we are fruitful for having him. We are fruitful because we have been expanding on all our activities, on all our things we do. We had jazz, we had this, we had that, we had how many things that come up after the budget. So bravo to the Prime Minister, and we want to say thank you very much. And we St. Lucian want to send all our love to the Honorable Philip J. Pierre, our loving Prime Minister. And like I said, he's going to continue staying there for the next 40 years. And that's what we're working on today. So is he that have to say he don't want anymore. But I want to also say God bless him, God bless his family, and I want to tell him continue his good works, and we are there. We're supporting him 1,000%. Thank you, Shelton.
All right, thank you very much. Thanks a lot. Oh my goodness, she sounded like she was really enthusiastic and full of praise and felicitations and admiration for the Prime Minister. That's why I couldn't, even though she was a little long, that's why I couldn't interrupt or cut her off. Hi, caller, you're on the air, the Real Issues. Go ahead. All right, okay. All right. It looks like people are on a very tight and short leash. When you see they call on the phone, they can't really stay even for a couple of seconds be long. That's how the credit situation is tight for them. We still have time, I think, for maybe a couple more calls. So please, get it coming. The person we just missed, try again. 724-7325. You can WhatsApp call.
Yeah, my dear.
All right, you're on the air. Go ahead. Yeah, I don't know why. It's like you answer, you hear the person, and then like it's ringing again. I don't know why. 724-7325. You can WhatsApp call us on that. 758-724-7325. And you can also reach us on 4533-911. We're rapidly running out of time, so make the most and the best of your time to call. I don't know if it's another button that he presses when he reaches us, so it sounds like the call is coming over a call that's already connected. Don't know how I can help you with that. Yesterday I did mention with regard to Burna Boy, and I spoke in the context of the Jazz Festival. Burna Boy's show was not part of the official Jazz Festival lineup. I don't think it was. It was a separately organized show by, how would you call that, a private independent promoter. But the point I really wanted to make is that the Jazz Festival is a season, and the season has its own culture. Yes, there is the general prevailing culture, but there is the culture, I think, that comes not just with jazz shows, but with the jazz season and so on. And anything that comes in the midst of the Jazz Festival that doesn't stick to what you consider to be the Jazz Festival culture, the Jazz Festival season culture, it's going to seem a little out of whack. It's going to seem a little bit, off the rails, off track, whatever we may want to call it, and so on. Not really gelling with the prevailing mood and tenor of the time and so on. So this is the point that I really wanted to make. We've had controversy, yes. We've had controversial, weird, way out people. And I mentioned Amy Winehouse. I mentioned Wyclef Jean. I mentioned, the former Fugees singer Lauryn Hill and so on. They come sometimes with a little bit of wackiness about them and so on. But I've never heard that kind of language, directly speaking to people in your host country, your host audience, your people, whatever section of it, to be cussing them off, in this kind of way and so on. And I think someone pointed out to me that the promoters cannot foresee, cannot anticipate everything a performer is going to do. Somebody might just do something way out, that no promoter could have seen it coming and so on. I think people who have that kind of international presence and popularity, and they have this kind of pull to them and so on, they should know how to, conduct themselves in what I'm sure they would have been told is still by and large a fairly conservative society. People can take stunts and they can take little things, but when you go cussing off the very people who, are the ones, their patronage or whatever it is we want to call it, buy tickets to your show and pay the money that you earn and all that sort of thing, I think you need to have, even in the midst of wild fun and entertainment, to show a little bit of respect for them. And I don't think that is too much to ask. All right, I think we've reached the wrap-up point, and I have to say we did a lot better than I thought we would do, Jaquan, given that the Parliament, last time we checked, was still in session, live session. Honorable Joachim Henry was speaking. I'm going to have a little discussion pertaining to our Facebook Live, whether there is something we can do to tighten it up, because it's true we have two tracks, the NBC one and the Real FM one, but when you have people on the two different lives for the same program, is it in fact hindering and limiting the extent of interaction than if you have everybody on the one roof, so to speak, where the live is concerned? It may have its advantages, but it may have its disadvantages in that the people on the Real FM one cannot interact with the people under the NBC one, whereas it may be wiser to have everybody having one roof of interaction where the Facebook Live is concerned. But we're grateful for all of you, whatever the platform, whether it is the radio, the TV, the Facebook Live, or the YouTube. We're really glad to have you in our company and for you making the time to have us in yours as well. Thank you very much, Jaquan. Until tomorrow, same time, God willing, all things equal, for the Real Issues, Shelton Daniel signing out.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
McDowell Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the
Tuesday, 7th May 2024, double daily grand 2-5-18-22. Big 4 3-4-8-7. Big 4 multi-X 2X. Pick 2 2-8. Pick 2 multi-X 2X. One off 2-7-3. Lucky 3 6-2-8. Lucky 3 multi-X 2X.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
McDowell Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances